of the Europa League phase, and it was a much better second-half performance from Manchester United. Owen, what did they do differently that managed to get them the win tonight?
I don't think they just created much in that first half. I think they had 72% possession, but didn't create anything, didn't really take many shots. And I just thought the second half they were a little bit more aggressive, created more, had a few more shots. And that's all it needs, just be a little bit more positive. When you have that much of the ball, Jules, then you've got to create more. And I think the second half they created a lot more. Well, a little bit more positive. Obviously, the changes from Amram had a big impact, but just played a lot better than they did in the first half.
Yeah, at half-time when we were looking at the team sheet and we were looking at who could potentially come off the bench, it is strong, isn't it? He obviously didn't play maybe his strongest 11 tonight with the derby to come on Sunday, Karen. So he had those players he could bring off the bench.
He did, and they made a huge impact. Obviously, Hojlund with the 2 goals, but I thought Mount was good. Anthony had a part to play in certainly the first goal. Ugarte tidied things up, and Garnacho as well. So it is a strong bench. I still think I'm not sure about Rashford playing in tight pockets, and Ahmad is obviously better when he's got big distances to run at. So I think that's something to be more mindful of. And I was a little bit disappointed with Xerxes in his hold-up play. There was some good moments from him, but he had to turn to his bench. And that was a shift, really. And like I said earlier, 3 shots in the first half, 14 in the second. You definitely want to see more of the second-half performance on Sunday, I think.
Yeah, Hojlund certainly made the difference in the second half. We can hear from Manchester United's goal scorer now. He's with Danny Davison.
Rasmus, that's the first away European win for Manchester United since last March. How did you find it out there?
It's a bit difficult. Very cold today and difficult circumstances. The pitch was a bit boggy as well, so yeah, we had to deal with it, and we solved it well in the second half.
When you say you solved it in the second half, what particular problems were you finding in the first half before you came on, and then what changed to solve it in that second 45?
I think we have to. I think we didn't play too direct in the first half. I think we needed to get them to play a little bit more over them and a little bit more behind them, because there was a lot of space to run into, and especially like I said before with a boggy pitch, then you get them, if you win them second balls, then you can play from there.
Was that the instructions when you came on? The substitutes in particular, when you, Mason Mount, Anthony came on, were they the instructions from your manager? Not necessarily, but of course for my type of game, it's always to run the channels and tire the opponents, and I think I did that well today. Could you talk me through the free kick routine from Bruno for your second goal? How often have you practiced that? Was that something that he came up with in the moment?
I've seen Bruno do that before. I remember a goal with Anthony Martial when he does the chip Bruno does the chip for him, and I just thought I had a good opportunity just to sort of, because I'm strong and I had him on this side, so I could push him and just spin him and finish.
Look, it's 2 more goals for you. It's 5 now in the Europa League. I know when we spoke after the Bodo Glimt game, you said that the experience you have in this system from your time at Atalanta has been very helpful. Do you feel like you and the rest of the team, particularly that front 3, are getting more used to what the manager wants you to do? Can you see the results of that on the pitch?
Yeah, yes and no. Obviously, we still need more time. It's still very early days, but again, sorry. It's about getting the routines together, and I think it's getting under the skin now, but obviously it still needs a lot of practice and a lot of time. We don't have really a lot of sessions, so we sort of had to train it during the matches. I know it sounds a bit odd, but it's how you learn the best. So yeah, we're doing our best, and I think it's getting better and better.
Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think a few of those Manchester United fans that have travelled there will be enjoying those beers and be relieved after that full-time result. A 2-1 victory for Manchester United in Plzen. Thank you very much to Sam and Robbie on commentary tonight. It was such an open end to the game, but overall a much better second-half performance from Manchester United, with the substitutes making the difference. It does put them, as you can see now, in the top 8 of the Europa League phase table, ahead of the late games kicking off today. They're looking to hold on to that automatic qualification spot to the round of 16. They don't want the extra games in the playoff round. So for that reason, Owen Hargreaves, an important win for United.
Massive win, in almost in a must-win game. Obviously a lot of pressure, going to go down. There was still some mistakes in there, obviously De Ligt and Onana, we'll get into that in a second, but really good response from the team. But it wasn't vintage, but the second half was a lot better. Amram made some subs and they had a big impact on the game. But again, it's Ahmad, it's Bruno, it's Hojlund. They're the ones kind of being making the highlights for this Manchester United team.
Karen Carney's watching along with us as well. What did they do better in the second half, Karen?
I think it literally is about the substitutes, but I also think the game was far more stretched, and it kind of helped United because they can carry the ball and they're better in transition, I think. But they're the stats, and I mean, in the first half they had 3 shots, in the second half they had 14, so there was a big difference. And I think, like I said, the big difference for me was just Ruben Amorim putting on the players. I think Mount came on, made a big difference. I thought then Ahmad had time and space to run, but yeah, overall better second half performance.
Yeah, the substitutes certainly making the difference. We'll bring you more reaction very shortly because United's next.
Yeah, that sure is. United deserved winners on the night, although for a while it looked a bit shaky, didn't it? After Onana's error cost us a goal, Matej Vydra scoring for the Czechs, but then 2 goals from the substitute. Rasmus Hojlund wins us the game and moves us temporarily maybe, but up to 5th in the Europa League group stage, which, Wes and Quinny, is a much better position to be in. So overall, I know it was a bit patchy, but are you happy with the general performance?
Yeah, listen, the point of that tonight was to get 3 points, and we did that. It wasn't great at times, especially the first half. A mistake by Onana gives them a lead, but I thought, after the manager made a few subs, we looked really sharp. Hojlund looked really good, and Ahmed looked good again as well. Yeah,
he was very instrumental, wasn't he? Ahmed throughout played well. But Rasmus was the difference when he came on. We have said plenty of times, this team needs more goals. Well, Rasmus, the man tonight.
Well, obviously he scored the goal, but when you look at the change the manager made, he brought energy. Mason Mount came in, Garnacho came in, so you got the pace. You got Urgente came in the midfield, and Anthony even did well tonight. So when you see his first goal, I was a little bit surprised because I normally see Anthony in those situations, he goes backwards. He actually passes forward into Ahmad's stride, and Ahmad did his magic, got the first goal, and then from there on, just played much better the second half. It was more energy and good goals. The second goal from Rasmus was very good in terms of protecting the ball, good imagination from Bruno, and we could have scored more.
Was that something they would have worked on?
Oh, definitely.
On the training ground, because it was everyone was looking for Bruno to ping it over the top of the defence and maybe get one of the centre backs to head it back into the danger area. But it was nicely worked, wasn't it?
Oh, brilliant! Because when you look at the goal, the pitch wasn't the best, so it's actually bobbled to him, and he managed to protect the ball nicely and hit the target, and that's all you want from a striker. Make sure you hit the target every time you get in those positions. But clever play from Bruno, and something they've been working on in training, probably.
Yeah, and that's such a good victory in many ways because it shows character to come from behind and after suffering a bit of adversity with the mistake, but then to keep going to find an equaliser and then go on and win it, it shows a good bit of character.
Yeah, character, confidence as well. I'm guessing after the first half the manager would have been on him a little bit. We've got to be quicker, we've got to play higher. We need to get at them a bit more quicker because we're making it far too easy for them, and we did that the second half. We should have scored more goals as well. Maybe Hojlund getting his hat trick. I've seen him having a little word with Ahmed, but I like that.
Yeah.
He's saying that I'm trying to, I'm sprinting to make this easy for you. But that's what you want from the team, and eventually we come out worthy winners there.
Be interesting to see who our fans' player of the match is. The poll is now open on the Manchester United app, so get on there, have your say. Who would you vote for and why, Quinny?
Probably Ahmad. I like Ahmad. Chances created, very positive every time he gets the ball. He created a wonderful chance for Mason Mount. We probably could have scored. We were all wishing that he would have scored tonight, but he had 2 chances tonight, Mason, when he came on, and could have probably had 2 goals himself. But Ahmad, just in terms of his imagination. Mazruri, I thought played well as well, but I like the attacking part of him.
What would you say, Ben?
Yeah, Mazraoui, I'm going to say for me, you don't really notice him, but he does everything right. He's marking, he's defending in general. He's quick to the ball. He don't let his man, don't give him much time at all, and that's what you want from a defender. And Ahmed definitely, but listen, Hojlund was in the right spot.
Yeah.
And that's what we want from the striker. He's in the right spot. I think he's hungry at the moment for goals, and you could see that today.
I know he only came on 55 minutes, replacing Marcus, who was on a yellow card and had just made a foul actually, so it's probably quite a wise substitution. But still, in the 40 minutes he was on the pitch, Rasmus, he made the difference.
Brilliant, and that's what you want from your strikers, this competition. I'm sure he's been sitting on the bench waiting to come on, and once you, for strikers like Wish will tell you, any striker, they need confidence, they need the opportunity just to get a goal, and once you get the first goal, everything else opens for them. You can see how he took his second goal with ease, the way he protected the ball, and then just made sure he hit the target. And he probably could have had another one if I might played him in, but we want him to be full of confidence because hopefully he can score more goals for us this season.
You saw Andre Onana sprinting up the pitch to celebrate with the players when they scored. Now, he was probably the most relieved man in the Dusan Stadium when we got level and then went on to win it because it was a bad error by him, and he's been so good this season. We just don't want those little errors to creep into his game.
Yeah, and listen, I think they played on that a little bit. They were waiting for that. And Nana just tried to be a bit too cute with it. Sometimes, listen, we all know the way the game's played now, but you just got to kick it, simple as that. And most of the time you're fine, but in that situation, you can sort of see him. He's on his front foot ready, he's waiting just to try and intercept it. And if the ball's not an actual, ping into the person, more likely the attacker's going to intercept it. And we paid the price for it, but hopefully all you can do is just try and learn from it.
Sports 1. In the Manchester United game out in Czechia, it's goalless. It's not been great, we're not going to lie, but if you look at these stats, Manchester United have had the majority of possession. They've got more than double the amount of passes than Plzen have had in that first half. But they haven't done much with the ball, have they, Owen? No,
dominate possession, as you see, but they just haven't really created anything, really. And maybe it's, I don't want to make excuses, but maybe it's, they said it's -2, maybe it's cold, it's maybe the...
We just did, me and Karen just covered the Chelsea game. It was -11
okay,
out in Kazakhstan, so no excuses.
No, they need to do more, they do. They got good players out on the pitch, and they need to create more.
Yeah, you wanted, Karen, to see what this front three would be like for Manchester United tonight. What have you made of it so far?
Well, like I said, I was excited to see Xerxes in the middle and maybe trying to get a link off for Rashford and Ahmad to get in behind, but they've been really sloppy. I think they've linked it up to Xerxes. I think he's had a couple of good glimpses, but he's been a little bit poor. And then the decision-making in the final third, and we just seen from the stats there, have backed it up. So I've been disappointed. I think it's lacked intensity, and I think the decision-making has been quite poor. Yeah, the chances that they've created, they just haven't really done much with them, have they? No, I mean, this was the moment where I was thinking, OK, and this is why I thought he signed Xerxes. Good strength, bodies off, gets in there, he's on his own, I think, bit of magic with his feet, and he makes something out of nothing, and from that, he's got him up the pitch and he's got him a corner. And again, Xerxes has been key in everything in terms of all the positive stuff. You're thinking now, make good decision, Ahmad. Should it have gone to Bruno? Probably, but if it goes to Rashford, at least give him a weighted pass that makes a good decision for him, but it doesn't. Again, great ball in, no one's really there. I feel like they've been a little bit asleep in the final third. And this is probably, again, good save, but edge of the box shot. And I think, again, he's scratching his head thinking, who can I change and bring on? And these are the sloppy moments, though.
Yeah, and to be fair, there's been quite a few. I think it needs a bit of quality, obviously, at the top of the pitch, but, I think Bruno's playing in there to play that ball, but it's not on. Just keep it, carry it forward, tries to hit the big home run.
What's this down to, though? Is this just them still learning this system, or is it something completely different?
No, I think they're learning the system. They're trying to find their way with it. I think people are, finding the roles within it, but that's just sloppy. Just keep the ball. Xerxes is good at kind of getting on the ball. We've seen a few of these from Onana straight into Xerxes. Poor touch. It just needs a little bit more quality, or actually a lot more quality. And I think he'd be furious at halftime that they played like that.
Yeah, goalless at halftime. There was a big...
Martí, que si no está es por motivos de fuerza mayor, así que todo el ánimo para él. Un abrazo grande y veremos si su rayo le puede dar hoy una alegría.
En troncos de Sergio García junto a Verdú cuando ya se cogen esas cartas secretas. A turno de Aitor Vives. Encara Aitor. ¡Arriba! Desviado el remate de Aitor Vives. La llega a tocar por Lechuga.
Días en los que quizá podrían haber tenido mejor resultado, los porteros han estado ahí.
Viene el balón para Manu. ¡Oh! Precisamente un portero es quien le da el primer gol a Troncos. ¡Gol! En la frontal del área decide combinar sobre la figura de Paul Lechuga. Vértice del área. Probará con el regate. No, la cambia entera. ¡Qué balón de Lechuga para Alegre! ¡Para adentro! ¡Gol! espérate, porque viene Fraile a esta línea de fondo, la pone Fraile, el balón para Poc, que recorta delante de Ferres. ¡Poc! ¡Qué parada abajo! De Manu Martín, lo hizo de fábula.
Ha señalado cesión.
Libre en directo, eso es.
Sí, libre en directo.
Ojo que la pone rápido en movimiento, los troncos para adentro. Sergio. ¡Gol! Vamos al penalti, presidente. Lo tirará en paralelo a la portería Perchita. Perchita ante Lechuga. Le pega Perchita. ¡Lo ha parado! Con suspense, con incertidumbre, pero acabó sacando finalmente. Pues venga, todo tuyo. Ahí está, algo bajito, capo. Verdú. Contacto con la pelota en el carril central, abre precisamente para Vives. El centro acaba siendo portería, porque evitaron que el pase de la muerte pudiese llegar. Pero si eres de Barcelona y quieres vivir la emoción de la última jornada en el Cupra Arena de tanto la Kings League Infojumps como de la Queens League, puedes entrar también en el centro y el remate. Ahora te lo cuento porque es un golazo. ¡Gol! Frankie Purtí, irá Frankie para darle la vuelta al Rayo. Frankie lo ha parado. Lo ha parado Manu Martín. En la porfía con Ian, en todo caso no se aplica nada y viene el ataque ahora de los troncos. ¡Lechuga! Román Alegre está bien, gol doble.
Gol doble para Rayo.
El capitán de los troncos combina con Vives. Lechuga. Era muy difícil porque le botó justo en el momento. Un penalti shootout. Tanto sonoras como lumínicas del Cupra Arena. Sorroche para el tercero. Lechuga. Decide combinar sobre Paul Román. Aparece Román Alegre que filtra el envío. El remate para adentro. ¡Gol de oro! ¡Cántalo! ¡Gol! ¡Gol! Del Rayo de Barcelona. Llegar y besar el santo Joel Paredes.
Frankie Purtí, Prime MVP, por fin ha llegado esa victoria tan esperada para el Rayo.
Sí, ha costado mucho. La verdad que aquí ganar cuesta muchísimo y hay que valorarlo mucho. Y como ha dicho el míster, al final hoy era un partido amistoso que encarábamos como preparación para el partido donde nos jugamos la vida, que es el partido de play-out del Mundial. Y esperemos que esto nos sirva para encarar una buena dinámica y encarar ese partido de la mejor manera posible.
Hoy no ha podido estar el Presi, no sé si nos estará viendo desde casa y no sé si le quieres decir algo.
Yo creo que sí nos estará viendo. Le mando un fuerte abrazo. Esta semana ha sido una semana difícil para él y espero que le anime, tanto la victoria del femenino como la nuestra este fin de semana. Espero que le anime y que le ayude a pasar la semana de la mejor manera posible y decirle que le queremos mucho y que vamos a dar la vida para que el Rayo esté en el Mundial.
Ojalá que así sea. Enhorabuena. Gracias.